Alright everyone, we have ourselves another little battle here. A 4v4 from one of Joe's streams. This is actually the second of three. Uh, I'm starting to get a little loopy. I've decided to bring a wild roam army, a little more wild than I'm used to be perfectly honest. And the reason behind that is because I was told I should stack Praetorians, and I did. But this 4v4 on the attacker side is brought to us. First off, Garen is bringing Macedonia. He has been the true MVP of this match. I think, in my opinion, he did very well. I brought Rome. Khalid ibn Walid, the Sword of Islam, has brought Swaby. Then we have the Ninja Keeper, bringing Royal Scythia. Me and him should not be allowed on a team together. That has been that was made abundant in this stream. But on the defender side, Propane has brought Parthia. Joe has brought Lusitani. Dade brought Colchis. And Y Guy brought Epirus. Interesting. With all that, of course, let us get this party started. No army comps in this one and the next one, mainly because I had to do this all in one day, and I needed as little editing as I could do, because I'm out next week. Technically, I'm on a plane when you're watching this video, if you're watching it at release. But let's get started.
It is a brave sight, an Eastern army, but it is brave only in appearance. In reality, their generals are fops and merchants, more suited to arguing over figs than fighting battles. So, prepare to give them a fight.
Damn, Macedon is able. They yell. They insult the Parthians. Well, that was a good one. And actually very specific to basically the main defender, which is Propane as Parthia. Of course, immediately firing at the walls, trying to knock those down. Walid over there, and of course, Garen over here. But a little bit of this army. Fun fact with this one, someone did want to sally out. And they were told specifically, do not sally out, you're a madman. Because of Massagetta definitely riding around everywhere. Of course, towards the center, I brought my elephants. I brought my Praetorians and my gladiators. This is my undefeated Rome build. And we get to see if it gets defeated today. I say undefeated. Undefeated on these streams. It's lost a lot of times. Because it's dumb. But it keeps working. Too many times. We'll see if today can continue the streak. If not, it's a failure. But as I said, here's the cavalry. A little bit of horse archers. They were told, no, what are you doing? You're a madman. So he's going to be hugging the wall. Basically hoping someone will come for him because he has these slingers over here as well. These, of course, these noble women are made visible. He realized it's a bad idea because they can outrange him. So they can kind of like maneuver over here and get away. Let's see how this is doing. Didn't hit anyone. Wall at 30. Wall at 37 there. That just ran right into those Eastern Spearmen. Poor boys. 45 and 7. Yeah, you gotta aim for this spot right here. Because that spot I've always found is one of the best curves. Militia hoplite moving their way up as the ballista just tries to fire. Trying to hit my gladiators, monster. Aiming for my gladiators like the true monster he is. Lusitania also trying to fire in, do some damage. Of course, my Legatus General. Did I forget? Oh, no, I do have second wind, and I remember for a lot of that I had I like to bring fear effects. think it was actually the last one I did, which I don't know if I'll be covering, because it was on New World. And we'll see how New World does. But let's see, we got here. Oh gosh. Pobrecitos. Oh my gosh. Let's see how the wall destruction is going. 60, 52 over there. 67 there, and actually that is a very wide frame. That actually might work really well. Let's see. We'll see. Yeah, the ballista point blank firing. Propane's a cheater. You've seen it here first. Just went through there. The Air Force and the combat helmet are coming in. They're going to be winning that fight. They are taking some damage. Not too much, I don't think. But that's not the point. 97. That one's at 7. That missed. 67, 60. You know what? They've almost beat the ballista crew. Mission of the Hoplite trying to get Hoplite wall, which is, I think, just going to get them attacked in the rear. At 8 kills, 9 kills, 10. Getting some kills, 67. There we go, 82 to that one. This one at 97 and he's not firing, and we're really worried he's out. Because we need both breaches in the wall or else we're screwed. We think. Because with our armies, we need to be able to get in. Eye of Elephants. Another guy, Ninja has fucking cavalry. We need multiple ways in. And wide ways in, too, to be honest. So that corner one is going to be necessary. 82 and 90. I might as well just watch the fun. More helmet coming in. It was a militia hoplite versus militia hoplite, but now they're just going to get slaughtered. Yeah. Oh, that's the first wall broken, and let's see if we can get the second one as well. Oh, I was trying to check and I forgot I was on that. 100. So we got ourselves a wide gap here. We're like shit. 97 still. Parthia, you can see lined up over here. A lot of Hillmen, Eastern Spearmen, Colchis right here. Their own helmet coming in. Last of the militia hoplite breaking. They got 41 kills. Holy shit. Where did they get all those kills? There he goes. He's firing again. And we're like, oh, thank God. Dude, I do not know where he... Oh, 120 on those Hillmen. Yeah. So the militia hoplite actually managed to do a pretty good run on them. Now we have 2 breaches. We've got ways in, which are going to be very useful for us. And still more arrow or ammo. Honestly, I wouldn't use it right now. These archers might not be the best spot to try to target. But Swaby's moving up. The rest of us haven't yet. So we're going to have to get going fast. Make sure we're caught up with him. Yeah, just hitting into these archers. It's not going to do much to them. I would save to where they clump more. Just bounce right over those hillmen. Yep, and the archer's moving away. Trying to avoid being a target. Actually, pretty nice hits. Dropping it down to 1-9. Parthian foot archers maneuvering around a little closer to avoid being hit. But I have begun my movements up. So has Macedon. Swaby is almost there. Missed and missed. No, look at this. We got ourselves a Hillman. Militia Hoplite charging. Monster. Okay, 44 kills, 45, 46. They're actually getting some good kills. These militia have been... Let's see if they get to 50. 50, there we go. You know what? They deserved it. Let's watch the little party. It looks like, yeah, there's one out of position. The rest managed to hold that position of the hoplite wall pretty well. They dropped down. You can see the Hillman dropping. See how far reinforcements are. Still good distance away. They need to hold out. The army is definitely running. Definitely trying to rush to save these militia hoplites. Definitely. Another spear hit. Nice. Ooh, you can start to see them start to go out of position. Another... They're actually doing a really good job against the Hillman. Oh, and the militia break. Militia break. 73 kills, though. Shattered at the last moment. They're down to 3 men. They're going to try... They try to cut them down to the men, but there is 2 survivors making their way back. Now you got to pay them. You should have let them die. Someone trying to be a bit cheeky. Swaby's moved up and is letting the rest of his army kind of catch up. Some blood sworn, club levy, sword masters. A lot of sword masters. To be funny, a lot of sword masters leading the towers.
Break forward.
The proud Hastati, the only Hastati I brought. Because the rest are Praetorians or gladiators. For the melee infantry. Got regular hoplites here. Militia hoplites there. Interesting ball formation. Interesting strategy.
In service to Rome.
Yep, with that, the Hastati is ready. I mean, you don't really want to use the archers on these guys. We got swordswomen up here, able to fire down. Hitting that club levy. I mean, obviously they're trying to take out that ballista. Or not ballista. Tower, and they've almost got it. One more volley should do it. They're probably going to get that off. Yep, they got it off before they died. Get a fear effect general, you could have done it. Eastern Spearmen, Hillmen. And the 75 men. They're getting ready for the push. Hoplites get in initially. Doing some real damage. Hitting in the side with the militia hoplite. 7 kills. Hastati getting up right now. By themselves. Into the death trap. And Macedon is the first one in. Followed closely by followed by Swaby, then immediately after by Rome. But over here, this corner fight is getting started. 2 units of club levy versus the Eastern Spearmen, where there's a Scythian, also noblewomen, just trying to do some damage. Just harassing some of the militia hoplite from range. First club levy's about to go, but so is the Eastern Spearmen. Over here, the hoplites are still holding out. Second unit hoplite trying to cut in. Hastati here to take the brunt of the damage. And a collapse in.
Bring forward!
Hillman dying really fast. That is Stadi also getting shot. Hoplite have won their way over here. Lusitani swordswoman trying to frenzy charge in. But Hoplite's still doing well. Now getting shot in the back. Over here the corner's been taken. Swordmasters. First unit of Swordmasters into this fray. Obviously they're going to just slaughter. Like, they don't even need the arrow fire at this point, but the point is to speed up as much as possible. Hillman coming in. They break. Swordmasters, they've lost 6 men. Or 7 men. But this is Stadi holding out against all these guys. Right now we got a militia hoplite and an Italian sword. Stadi at 115 kills doing what they can. Brave 40 at 39 getting in immediately. Thorax swordsman following it up. So the two-pronged assault is going to get started. First unit gladiators in immediately getting targeted.
I'm at speed! Let's charge!
Or 2 units of gladiators, I should say. First unit rotating around this side. They've lost 8 men already. Getting right on in. And getting that killing spree off because they know they're not going to live for very long. Trying to cut into as many as possible. Up to already 40 kills. Oh, will be 40. No more axemen. Barely not. We're getting... There you go, 42. Yep. And then right here as well. Getting right on in. Trying to cut some of these Italians in. Taking a lot of fire. These gladiators were not meant to live. Be honest, my money's on the Praetorians and the elephants. Gladiators are kind of like a threat that they need to focus on. This one's going to go down a bit faster than the other. 53 weapon damage, though. That's pretty insane. Like, connecting, they're getting 3 kills at a time. Hastati's getting ready to go. They're at 140. Thorax Hillman right there. Was that a triple bronze chevron Hillman? It was. Gladiators routing 53 kills. But over here, Swaby is managing to form in. Hold up the enemy. This corner's been isolated, surrounded, and it is screwed. Right now we have a few militia hoplite and Parthians. Just to hold there, but... if those guys need a break. They're broken, so now they can continue forward. And the first unit of Massageta is in to run roughshod over the defensive lines. Downward hail charge. Ooh, actually just rotates around right into the enemy infantry. That is a hell of a hit. Can he keep going? Ah, I see he didn't want to. He decided to go deal with this threat. Not getting the greatest... Nope, there we go. Got a great charge right into the back of those swordswomen. Gonna do some real damage to them. And could have potentially break down this side. A lot of units are breaking. More swordmasters getting in. Then Massageta rotating out. They're 163 kills already. Holy shit. More gladiators sneaking their way in. By sneaking their way in, I mean being very obvious and everyone's seeing them. Basically wanting to get those Italians. Try to knock them out and open up that breach a bit further. Basically trying, yeah, I want to engage as much enemy infantry as possible because I know that if we exhaust what we can first, we've got this. So, killing spree activated, getting into the axemen and the militias. They're going to be targeted again. Massagettic getting out of there. They're down to 24 men. 237 kills. Another 100 kills. Over here, the Axemen are managed to hold, while Swaby is hitting hard into these swordswomen. Wolf Warriors, actually. Nice. I love Wolf Warriors. And they have a nice scare ability, which will hurt the enemy. Swordmaster's coming on in. Rear charging in, and bam. Now this becomes a big thing. We need to break through one of 2 points. This point, and over here. A lot of our forces are going to be over there just because it's a wider front. Yep, up to 54 kills. 55. Over here, more Swaby is breaking through. Club Levy ready to go. These Parthian swordsmen are holding out well. But he's rotating. You can see the infantry trying to go to cut him off. So that guy's stuck against 2. Got a good hit against these swordmasters. I mean, they're already at 415 kills, but they haven't even gotten their second chevron yet. No, they just got it with 419 kills. So you can see the quality they were doing. Archers are able to move in with safety. A lot of Garen's trooper now taking the next front. The reason is I'm running low. 2 gladiators left. Some of those Praetorians are getting ready to move in. Some of them taking some damage already. Massagettic kind of still showing his hand over there, scaring them. The other big point is if we get a breakthrough, Massagettic can run roughshod over the defenders as they try to rotate back. Minus any surprises they might have. More militia hoplite for Epirus. Also getting into those Italians. Some more Italians. Some Thessalian cav, which is pretty nice cav. And those Balearics are doing some damage. They are being targeted. Yep, if we can take down that Balearic, that's big. So they are hurting those swordmasters. Down to 90 men. Damn, and they're actually getting away. 89, nice, we got him. Even more, 83. Parthian foot's down to 51. And the first of the purple cloaks have made their way in. The purple tide, we have Macedon and the purple cloaks of the Praetorian. Basically, getting ready to push this side real hard. Well, these Praetorians are not going to be very liked. First one getting ready to come in, second one finding a little way to sneak on in. It's a very dangerous position, to be honest. Very exposed, but just trying to silence some of these Italians, put some pressure on them. Force them to pull in reserves and take strikes they don't want to do. And already 26 kills there. Over here, already 26 as well. They're just going to be able to cut through. If they can break this, that's going to be big as well. Yep, with that shattering, it's going to allow a big break in the line. You can see Macedon already getting ready to push their unit. They're trying to cut them off, but, I mean, the Praetorians are in the way there with a lot of them. So they're going to take some pretty nasty casualties trying to break through. Yeah, you can already see it. They've lost so much. So this Thorax Swordsman's going to have the time of their life right there. They got a rear charge into those Axemen. I mean, they're hitting these Eastern Archers. Italians dropping down. The issue is those Italian, or if those Thoreau spears break, that's going to be a really pain. Well, he's breaking. Yeah, you can see rear fire. They've got this on lock with a lot of their archers, so this is going to be very painful. Praetorians continuing to cut.
Engage!
This Praetorian right into here. I mean, trying to just wipe out as much infantry as possible. You can see them getting right into those axes and those easterns and even these Cartleys. Trying to just put more pressure, force more to break. Yeah, these guys are dying, so we'll make them fresh for a little bit, keep them fighting a little longer. The ranged, of course, is going to actually benefit us. Yep, they shattered. Praetorians can now move up as well. First two unit Praetorians in 189 and 105. That's insane already. Also moving those gladiators in. Over here, a bottleneck is basically happening here. Well, they just broke the bottleneck, you can see. Right now the Parthian swords are the last things holding, and they are being wrapped around on. And with that cavalry... Oh, you could have been able to hit them. You should have. Oh no, with that one done. There we go. Infantry hit in. Managed to do a pretty nice break in. Enemy infantry getting in, swordmasters. That's a lot of fire. That's step armored. The Thorax are killing it. They are definitely been the MVP so far this game. Macedon has been doing all he can to hold over here. Gladiators being targeted immediately, so I'm just rotating them around, trying to be scary, especially because we have the dominance over on this side. I'm just trying to get into the Parthians, trying to force them to break. Yeah. Taking some damage. That rally popped. Longbow Hunter's trying to do some damage. I don't know if they're going to win that. Praetorians now losing. I mean, Cartleys are losing as well. You got a Samnite in the middle. Swordswomen are losing. No one's really winning these fights. Slingers, of course, being able to do full health, they're going to be able to do some real damage. Yeah, he's going to need to pull them away. Rest of the Praetorians getting ready to go in. Gladiators just trying to find an opportunity to act. But you can kind of see where this fight got started over here, and you can see the grind has been going. Over here, they've been pushed back to this line here. They're about to get into the Axemen, so there's two more layers. One of them, though, is a Cartley Axeman, so it can still be a bit dangerous. A very good job for Swaby, an army of elites. I'm frightened of an enemy. Oh, yeah. Those slingers still healthy. Those archers have being forced back. Balearics. Yeah. Praetorians are down to a thin line. They're up to 214 kills. I say that, but they're already up to 218. 220. Praetorians are getting ready to move in, and basically the last layer is going to be the gladiators before the elephants get their party in. The Thorax now getting attacked in the rear. First Praetorian. Or, well, third Praetorian coming on in against these Cartleys here, and now they're no longer winning. That Cartley's about to break. There's a bit of a gap in the enemy lines, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Hit into the ranged. I don't think I'm actually going to make it to the ranged, but just trying to scare them, hit them back. And actually hitting them. Doing a little bit of a number on those Balearics. Very bad positioning, of course. Praetorians are going to get surrounded. But it gave them enough time to force them back, especially if these Lusitani nobles start losing. Yeah. These Praetorian versus these Kartli. Yeah. Activating the ability now. They're already at yellow morale, so I'm like, fuck it. Cut into as many of them as you can. These Samnites, Kartlis, and I'm getting shot. But some of the ranged are being knocked down. The slingers need to go. Over here, I mean, I don't know what happened there. That was not a good charge. But the next unit of Bloodsworn is ready to go.
Right, advance at speed.
And of course, those Italians did win, but they don't get to do much more. They actually got a horse. Yeah, but it actually frees up my Praetorians a little bit. Elephants are getting ready to move up. And against the unending tide. My Praetorians are grateful, to be perfectly honest. It means less people to fight and more likely to damage them. Shield bearers coming in. Gladiators are as well.
Forward. Defensive positions. Quick march. March at the double. Quick march.
Yep, I'm going to be able to get right into those flanks. Which is exactly what we want. Right into those swordswomen, or veteran shield warriors. Losing a lot there. Praetorians here actually still holding out. Another surround on these guys. That's going to be the end of it. Over here we have another unit of swordmasters in. And actually the step armored lancers managed to get that charge all the way into them. I mean, there's no pulling back for these guys. They're dead. But Bloodsworn are going to do some real damage. That fight's just still saying stagnant. Yep, there goes that. I'm down to 1 Praetorian. That Gladiator broke immediately, sadly, with only 10 kills. This one at 26 and breaking. But the Praetorians are taking a lot of ammo. That's what's important.
Move, you dogs!
Alright, that's broken. We can get right into the... We can go to get into the Kartlis now. Ooh. And like no charge whatsoever. Real weak charge, but now the Swordmasters might get in. Swordmasters activating Headhunt, don't know why. But luckily, Colchis does oblige them by charging the Headhunt. Just down to the Praetorian and that shield bearer.
Right, riders advance.
Battle rhythm activated. Praetorians are at 150. Another step noble lancer just getting ready on the flank. Right on into the flank. I mean, some real damage. 66 kills. But it looks like our big breakthrough is going to come over here. That's what we need. Because over here, I mean, there's not a lot of infantry left, but it is a bit of a bottleneck. Swordmaster's getting that battle rhythm up, just trying to stay in. Veteran shields and Carlys have been looking like they get better days. But there's not a lot of infantry left on both sides. I mean, we got a lot of cavalry, though, and we still got a lot of elites. So I think we might have it. But the balance of power is not saying that. I think the elephants have to do well. 15, they're dying. Because, like, there's not much left over here. Like, there's that Swordmaster and the Veteran Shield, and they're losing. So as long as we can hold up enemy units over here, force them to stay over here, we'll do some work. The Swordmaster did not need to go over here, I don't think. You need to focus on his breach. Yep, getting right on in. And Swordmaster's gonna just eat up that enemy Sammonite. Torian's still going. Double Bronze Chevron, 200 kills. Thessalian Cav coming in. Yep, that breakthrough's almost through. Nice, 1 down. 2 down. Right into the ranged. More infantry coming, including a Colchian Noble. Oof, that's going to be tough to fight through some with Veteran Shield Warrior. I mean, we still haven't seen the Lusitani Nobles yet. Which, I mean, that's going to be dangerous. That's broken. They can keep going. Right into the flank. The Praetorians are trying to hold out as much as they can, but everything is breaking over here. 1 down. That's kept them alive, steadied them. They might actually be able to hold out and actually win this fight. And bam, right into the Praetorians. Next one breaking, and then the Praetorians are going to be on the front lines against the enemy. But enemy infantry getting cut down. We lost a Praetorian there. Over here we managed to get cavalry through, and there's elephants. Yeah, damn elephants. So everything needs to be targeting the elephants.
Rock Riders at the double.
Immediately going to target them. This might not be good. Their elephants are better than my elephants. That's for goddamn sure. 303 kills, holy shit. Swordmasters are in Shield Wall, which is really good, and Fire Shot is getting started. Yep, they're Berserk. They're going to do as much damage to their allies as everyone else. Their number starts dropping, that would be really nice. Yep, Lusitani Nobles, Lusitani Nobles. Yeah, this is backfiring now on them. They're going to be losing a lot of their number. Honestly, funnily enough, if that Colchian Noble stayed in place, it might have actually done them a bit better. Trying to move the elephants in, they're having a lot of trouble. These elephants being Berserk, 19 kills. Nothing too amazing on their kill counter. And they're losing a lot. A lot.
Riders
And with the elephant in, cavalry's going to pull back, try to surround that swordmaster that's getting close to death. He gets a charge in, manages to cover for me. Despite taking the fire shot, they're still going for a bit longer. I love RNG sometimes. RNG keeping these guys alive. And they're just racking up those kills. And now they're berserk. But there's no enemy, no allies left over here. Over here, down to 480. Not doing very well. It's rotating away. They have 197 kills. The elephant's trying to go outside to 203. Nice. Cavalry's going to get ready to go back in as well. And the elephant is dead. This is really good news. We might still have a chance. I mean, that Lusitani Noble's going to be painful, but we got some Swordmaster still. Got some cavalry. It looks like we might actually be able to break through this side. Especially with that charge. Holy cow. Like, insane charge right there. Of course, getting targeted back. Elephant's back under control and getting back into the fight. Lusitani Noble losing. Not much range left, so elephants get to have some fun and get the breakthrough we need. Second wind on them. Trying to break through right there. And getting to the horses. Not actually getting to the horses, but doing some real damage, up to 243 kills. Seems we might be fine over here. We're just chasing, and of course, the issue is this, there's another unit of elephants. Parthia brought their own Indian war elephants, even better than the other ones. Horse Archer is gone, but now there's another unit of elephants to contend with. Right into that Thessalonian cavalry. And elephants right into the back of my elephants. That's a healthier unit of elephants. I mean, I'm going to try to do what I can, but I don't think it's going to be much. And the other issue is that just Hoplite Wall is actually going to stop us. So more than anything, we need to break through this side. They've gone out of control, which is the only saving grace. Hoping to kill at least one of these elephants. Or at least delay them for a long time. They're going to try to do what they can. Couldn't break through, but did some real damage. Almost broke those Balearics. Those elephants are dead. I'm trying to get the second one in. The issue is we are not breaking through here. As much as we needed to. We might not be getting it. Yeah, pull out of there immediately because you're not going to win that fight. Elephants are kind of staying over here trying to do what they can. Bowwomen out of ammo. Now we have the Royal Peltis General as well. Oof, not pretty. Well, we're gonna have to Hail Mary the last elephants in. Some returning Samnite warriors are just getting slaughtered.
Cut forward! Trample them! Engage! Forward
Got into the Skitarii Cav.
for glory!
Getting into a lot of the enemy right there.
Engage! As you command!
And of course, he's using his elephants as an anti-elephant weapon. Those Kolkhian nobles are dropping down low.
As you quickly now!
I mean, Swordmasters are definitely losing this fight now. Definitely down to 64. Another Swordmaster coming on in. I mean, that Kolkhian noble is stuck in the middle. 107 kills. You know what? It's worth it. 2 bronze chevrons with 8 kills. God. Yep, Range trying to do what they can. It's Royal Horse Archers. Let's see. Yeah, over there, they're basically pushing us back. That's the end of the infantry on that side, and these elephants are not going to win, sadly. I mean, our hope is to break through the enemy and just get a few kills. But we have not even killed a single one of those elephants yet. Recharge with the Legatus. He needs to get at least some glory before retreating off the field. But General Last Boy left. And now a Royal Cataphrax. Why do they have to bring so many elephants?
Right riders advance!
But of course, my army, yeah. This is not going to be a win for us, sadly.
For glory!
No victory for the undefeated army. Lusitani nobles versus what remains of the sword masters. Oh, and they just lost their head hump, but he just gained a second wind. Ooh, no. Yep. And they got double the men. Okay, they lost a single elephant. Oh, and a fear effect. Piece of shit. Scaring me away and stopping me from trampling. Alright, we killed 2 elephants. Can't let them live or else they're going to run roughshod over us.
Riders at the double!
I say run roughshod over us, but there is no cavalry over there anymore. Or no infantry, just cavalry. Legatus getting into the Thessalians, so they can have a good charge.
In service to Rome!
Just being a good team player. But, well, they won. They're at 18 kills still. Or 18 elephants left, so they've only lost 2 still.
Command forward! Advance!
You know the worst part is if we didn't destroy that, we would at least have a tower. I decide to refuse to let my Legatus leave. I just hope they ignore him. They don't. monster. They're doing what they can, I mean charging the elephant. That was a good number down, and they are now berserk. Right as the enemy Cataphracts gets on in.
Quickly now! Charge!
They're pretty much dead as well. Legatus can go out and try to do what they can to help hold. Answer's not much if you need to know.
Happy to serve Rome.
No bonus versus large against with those Cataphracts. Interesting idea, bringing a warrior with the Cataphracts. Like, you know, you're gonna do some real morale penalties
Withdraw!
to the rapid losses, and they're like, yes. We try to get to the Balearics at the last or the Slingers at the last second, and they rout. Then so do the Scythian Royal Horse. With that, that is the battle done and dusted. It is a loss for the greatest Rome army to ever been built. Now, I don't want to blame anyone, but I know it wasn't my fault. That is for sure. That is a guaranteed fact. You know, it's so much a fact. Let's take a look here. Didn't do the worst. There we go. See, not my fault. We're going to go start with Garen, who is, I think, the MVP. He did very well at basically managing to push and just be the bulwark. I think Khalid did well as well, but I think Macedon was more the bulwark. He took a lot more fire. But 117 on that shield bearer, 184 on the archers, 149 for those credence. Hoplite wise, 109, 183. Now there's a militia with 73. That deserves credit. And then thorax, 152, 251, 200, 206, 207. Reyes, 105, 56. Khalid here, 220 on that swordmaster. 107 on that ballista. Khemri's 156, 135, and then longbows 177, 220. Bloodsworn 199, Club Levy 100. Then rest of the swordmasters 309, 301, 105, 292, 431, and that wolf warrior 144. And then there's Club Levy that's been left out. He got 90 kills. Ninja here. Technically going positive on their KD. Look at that. 3 of us went positive on the KD and still lost. But Royal Horse Archers 91, 69, nice. Let's see what else we've got. 241 for that Step Armored Lancer, 114 for that Step Noble Lancer, 143, 107. There we go. In my army, of course, Elephants 295, 127. Hastati 147, Praetorians 217, 242, 177, and 314. Propane here, bringing us Parthia. 107, 134 for those, and 226 for those foot archers. I mean, Hillman 62 is really nice. Parthian swords 149. 126. You know, honorable mention to the oven. 27 kills, but 3 bronze chevrons. Joe here, bringing us Lusitani. 274 and 177 for those Lusitani nobles. Balearic wise 139, 196. Balearic, what is it? Lusitani swordswomen are nothing too crazy. Same neither with the veteran shields, except for that one last one with 142. Date, of course, bringing us Colchis, 127 for that Colchian noble, 120, 126 for those Eastern archers. Axeman 199. There you go. Hillman 139, 108, and Cartley's 140. Last one is Y Guy, brought to us by bringing us Epirus. Epirus got 154 for that Peltist. They got a little decent amount of damage. 81 for those elephants, 181, 225, and 254 for those credence. We got 134, 122 for those Italians. 170, 179 for those Samnites, and I just skipped everything. Credence 225, 254. Italians 134, 122. Sammonites now 170, 179. 60 on a militia, nice. That is the army comps. I need to get some caffeine before I get my second video started. As I said, biggest point of contention was the armies. Definitely not the best army combination for Massagenta and that Rome build. But blunder-wise, we couldn't break through. That was the issue. They did a very good job at holding us. I feel like if we had more infantry, we could have done it. Amazing-wise, both Khalid and Garen especially, ran as a bulwark for most of it, basically absorbing all the ammo and still doing very well. Attacker-wise, the defender-wise, the 2 elephants at the end were very key and crucial. Bringing that out too early could have screwed them, and that saved them. Biggest blunder. I guess just getting caught up on Epirus pushing out. Epirus pushing out gave me some nice early kills. But with that, that is the battle done. I'll see you next. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on what I think, how they did. And of course, bye for now.